What's going on, everybody? How you doing, Coach? What's going on, man?
What's up, my brother? 5 days. 5 days. I'm stoked. I'm excited. Launches on Friday, and yeah, this is real, man.
Yeah, Unpacking Grief, Shattered to Onward by Marvin Speller. Coach, our host that we see every single week, doing his thing, bringing his creativity to the world, trying to reach 1 million people. And there's no doubt in my mind that this book will do that. And we'll go from there,
Yeah,
because
millions, sir, brother, millions,
1 million.
millions, sir. I want
It's
to put. I want to say a billion because it could have it's got to have that type of reach, man. Because listen, this is something that everyone goes through. You lose something close to you, whether it's a job, a house, a spouse, a family member, a child. I mean, we all go through this, and I want to hold the space for people to maneuver through it, not get over it, maneuver through it.
true, true. And who gets over it? If anyone's saying they're getting over it, I think they're gonna be called a liar in my eyes, because um, even the least impactful person in my life, I still think about them, right? Either
Right,
the smallest, minute person in my life, I still think of that person to
right,
make me think about it, and so if you get over it, you're not thinking about it. But I think of people that I had problems with, people, and I still, you know, ask myself, why things could have been different. Why did they go? So it's, a bunch of things. Like I still think about it. So if I'm using the energy to think about someone with just a small, essential part of my life,
right,
um, than the big, impactful person like family, dear friends.
right,
Um, there's no way I could.
right.
So your process has gone through many stages. What you thinking about it? What you going through the things that are going to be titled in the book, described in the book,
Right.
and I want to ask you this question, which is very very essential before we talk about anything in my
Hmm.
eyes.
Okay.
And the question is, why are you writing this book?
It's a great question, and I'll share this. Um, I wish I had this book when going through this journey,
Mm,
and a lot of times people don't talk about the things that are problems, or the things that are causing them heartaches and everything. People are very quiet with things, and sometimes when you share, they say sharing is caring. Um, why do we always want to hide behind something that's not real?
mm,
I mean, damn, I was in serious pain. I was hurting. I want to share that with the world, man. But I know what it is. Sometimes we're all afraid how people are going to view it, and we do live vicariously through that. What are others going to think and all that? We can never get away from that, right? Because
hmm
we always care to some extent what others think. But I mean, when is enough? When is enough where you're like, okay, it's the best thing for me is to do this versus what other people think.
True.
Some people would deem that as being crazy, and sometimes crazy is good. Um, so I wanted to get out here and share with the masses in hopes of helping people through this process. One, um, and two, just when you share with others, I feel you feel a little bit better. And at, at anything, if anything, it gets people talking about it, right?
Exactly.
Hey, I went through something similar, and this made a difference for me, right? I think those things to hear those things are important. Um, like I said, it's not easy to share, but imagine what you learned from that. People sharing, I went through something like this. This is what I went through. This is what made a difference for me. Imagine that any situation that comes up, people are talking about it, because a collective consciousness is better than sometimes one viewpoint. What our the
I
book is
agree.
to make a difference and help people. And if they have other ideas, and collectively we can share and just be 100% better collectively by people sharing. Because I don't have all the answers. I think collectively we have answers that can help out with things collectively.
Hmm.
You're never getting one stream of thought. You get many streams of thoughts on different things.
So true. The in all we excuse me, we had when we were initially talking about this book, and
Mhm.
I was like, hmm, this is this is going to be something special. And only reason being is I've sat on this side of the screen and talking with you, interviewing you, listening to you, learning from you, and just that in itself, I knew that this would be amazing.
Right.
Now, the brief amount of contents that I did read, I'm saying, wow, this is uh this is exactly what I thought. So I want to commend you for doing something and living up to my expectations, my anticipation of your work. And I
Right.
think Marvin that you were definitely going to reach higher plateaus than you think you are.
No, thank you, man. And this is kind of got this great friend of mine. She lives in Florida, named Melinda.
Hmm. Yep.
It's interesting. I've only met a couple Melindas in my life, and they've been very near and dear to me.
Yeah.
Um, it's Melinda I know. Kristen knew her well. Um, you know, I, she's a coach as well. We always talk about reaching the masses and helping people, and this is really what I was meant to do, man. I mean,
Hmm.
I live through my purpose every day, and go around and ask 100 people a day, what's your purpose? What kind of answers you get? Some people ponder and think. I know what my
Yeah.
purpose is, and I
Hmm.
try to live by my purpose. And one of the things, just being the best version of me. The better I get, the more I can give to others. Right? It's hard to give from an empty barrel, right? So
Yeah.
this is why I do things all the time to try to fill my bucket up, man.
Kind of goes right into the second question I'm going to ask you. You know, that's God at its work, at his work, at his job rather,
Right.
and it's crazy, amazing. Uh, God is amazing. What inspired you to write about your journey of grief and healing in this book?
Oh wow. You know what inspired me the most? I felt a lot of times I was channeled through this thing.
Hmm.
There was a version of this book I wrote when Kristen was still here physically,
Okay.
and being able to tap onto the other side, I was able to get a lot of inspiration on this. And
Hmm.
man, I know what, especially what I went through initially, and I've talked to other people. I've seen people who've gone through something similar, and I know how it puts you in such a bad shape. And it's like, well, what can you do? I always say, um, be more, do more. You
Hmm.
know, a lot of times you could just do more, but you may choose not to, right?
Yeah.
What if I had things that I could help people with and I withheld them? What is that saying, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I felt totally inspired from others on the other side. And that's many. And I wrote that in my acknowledgments in my book. There's a lot of people I acknowledge. Those were my inspirations collectively.
Hmm.
I mean, you can go down to the Five Tribe. You can think about some of Kristen's family.
Mm.
Um, my closest friends, and then I was going back to the woman Melinda. She's an amazing sister. Like I said, Kristen knew her as well. She's been just amazing. And I think about Kristen's Five Tribe. They've been great. They were great people.
Mm.
You know all of them, Charlie.
Yeah, they.
I call it Five Tribe Plus.
Mm.
I mean, I could sit here and go on this rampage of appreciation of all these people.
Yep.
You and I talked about um, Renee and Melissa earlier. I mean, these were folks that would call me all the time, just
Hmm.
check it. They didn't have to do that. They chose
Yeah.
people chose to do that, and so yeah, I was inspired along the way how people treated me, and I'm like, I got to continue to get back. I owe it to people a lot of times to give your best. I mean, you think about it, some of the basic things you can do every day.
Mm.
You could be somewhere and getting something. Someone gives you great service. Do you go and tell the manager? And I always say, well, why not? That makes somebody's day.
I heard you say that. I
Yeah,
heard you
man.
say that
I
before.
did that
Yep.
in Starbucks today. I do that all the time because I think it's important. I mean, if you could bring joy to somebody, why not?
Hmm.
And so, be a part of the solution was what kept coming through to me to be inspired in here. You think about how have you made a difference in the world we live in? Because everybody hear this thing get wired or triggered by all the things that happen in the government. The government is doesn't matter as much as when people come together collectively.
Mm. Yep. True.
Because I always say the local elections, the ones that matter.
Hmm.
Um, when if they would have had better elections out here in California, the wildfires probably would have never happened.
Yeah. True.
I was down in one of the areas today doing work, and I'm thinking to myself, I saw signs everywhere.
Good job. Yep.
And so I think about that, man. It's just like, just do better by people, man. And listen, I can always say I can always improve. I'm not perfect, but you could try hard every day. If you
Hmm.
if that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Let's see. How did the loss of Christian Perry Speller impact your life and perspective on grief?
Oh my gosh, man. Oh, that's a great question. You and I have talked over time. I'm glad by knowing her, I met great people like you.
Hmm. Thank you.
And
And I met you.
thank you, brother. And and a lot of great. And I was thinking today, I you know Manny Rodriguez, didn't you know him?
Hmm. I know a few of them.
Okay.
So that's the hardest thing.
Well, he
Is
passed away a couple years ago.
oh, wait, from the Cape.
Yeah, in the Cape.
Yes, yes. That's I don't know. I don't think he was a distant relative, but there's definitely blood ties between him, my
Something
family,
like
and
that.
his. Well, our family, if
Yeah,
that's the
definitely.
correct way of saying it. And
Such an outstanding man.
mm,
Gosh, I mean, we hit it off well, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. Um, when you think about the chapter, especially the chapter I shared online, um, I made the post yesterday.
hmm
I'm biased towards the Cape Verdean community. I love the Cape Verdean community because I've met so many great people
we
within
love
them.
you too, man.
Yeah, I mean, um, just a lot of things that remind me of how it was like back in the day, old school folks of color. But I mean, honestly, man, it's just like I met so many, and so many experiences going back, going to, and keep going back to Boston. The wonderful memories. Um, Kristen was the best person I ever met.
Mm, nice.
Um, and Charlie, remember this question right here, because I'm going to ask you to ask me this question when I go live next Friday.
Okay.
Kristen was the best person I met. She was the epitome of sacred feminine.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And it was when you hear people go online and they talk about how women were back in the day, how much they loved their men.
hmm
This was Kristen. And I was talking to one of my close friends of that. I was like, that feeling of being wanted is everything, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a hard thing to do, but when you have it, you have it. And when you don't have it, nothing else really matters in a relationship.
True. True.
Um, and that's the thing. I mean, when I think about solving today's problems, I think people coming together and showing a desire for each other. That part's important, man. That impacted my life big time, man. To not have that physically, but I have that in my heart, definitely changed me as a person. Changes my outlook on just about everything. Um, it's forced me into a place of, which is a good thing from this perspective. But I'm chasing excellence all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I continue to add the inventory of myself. Well, what do you rate yourself on this? What do you rate yourself on this? And the whole new experiences on. So it was a. This is the most impactful thing in my life going through this.
Yeah. It's it's um it's amazing. Um, the You mentioned relationships. You mentioned Christian was a survivor of domestic violence in previous podcast, and
Mhm.
how did learning about this part of her story impact your relationship or perspective on her strength? Kind of messed that up a little bit, but the questions in front of you, and
Right.
if you could just read it.
It was a big thing because it was like when I met Kristen, it was about not being her being judged by many, and I know
Mm,
that was something that was a trigger point for her, and I know it was something that was a struggle from her, not just from the relationship she had been in, a lot for her family as well,
mm,
and so I was very keen on that, but I also felt um, somebody that worked through it, and for her to go through that and still love on a high level, n- there was no baggage with that. As you've seen a lot this day and time, there's a lot of baggage when it comes to people who go through being wronged in a relationship. They
mm-hmm.
carry that crap onto somebody else, and a lot of times the person who caused the worry and pain, they get away, but somebody else gets the blame for it, how they treat it. So
Exactly.
I saw nothing but strength and her resiliency to get past that chapter in her life and made it wonderful, man.
We this past weekend I celebrated 50th anniversary of Cape Verdean independence, and
Hmm.
we talk about it all the time in Cape Cape Verdean culture, and this is one question that you told me, talk to me about, but I wanted you to describe Christian as embodying the beauty of Cape Verdean culture, and how did her heritage influence your relationship and perception of her?
Well, I knew nothing about Cape Verdean culture before I met her.
Mm.
I
So
knew I knew there were
yeah,
islands out there, but
she was that ambassador for you, right?
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Talked about the joy and pride that your culture has.
Hmm.
How you all were extremely prideful while even going through being colonized along the way.
Yeah.
Um, and they told me stories about people coming here, changing their name and all that stuff. But it was a wonderful journey, in my opinion. Trying the foods, right?
Hmm.
Hey, what's the name of that food? It's a dish. Um, Angela makes all the time.
The
Jag.
troop jag. Yep. Yeah. And there's kind of a couple of versions of it, and
Hers is
some,
more or less rice, seasoning, and onions.
yeah, it's more like and truly, that's the American version of what we call Jagasita. It's two different things, but for
What's it
some
called?
reason, Jagasita is actually the proper name, and then when it comes to this country, they call it jag, and they kind of being rice and beans and
Right.
paprika, and you season it, and you do it different ways, and
Yeah, it's really good.
so yeah, and so and I think I tell everybody that regardless of what the changed, whether coming here and it's still part of the culture, it's still part of the
Right.
the menu that is constantly, you know, uh, ate across the world with Cape Verdean families and others, and so I still say that you can't knock it. It's still part of the heritage, still part of the culture, and
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to make sure that in the book I shout out because she definitely represented the culture, and
mhm,
you know, as your culture had somebody that was a straight up ambassador,
yeah,
um, who loved her culture and did anything to represent what Cape Verdean culture was about, even though at times it wasn't always reciprocated to her.
yeah, so true. I couldn't understand who and how anybody would mistreat such a beautiful woman.
Well, I don't think it was a mistreatment. It was others in your culture would get a whole lot more grace or recognition for some of the comparable things that they both did,
Hmm.
with
I get that.
very little scorn, which was I could feel that from her, some of that disappointment at times.
Yep. Yeah. See, I wish I had sat down and talked with her about that. But there's so many subject matters, so many questions on the table that you and I both would love to talk to her about. And so um, the next question is in the book. You mentioned Christians' impact on people by making them feel like they matter. How do you think this relates to your own experience with grief and connection?
Well, I think to not have that, you think I'm launching something that's major. I'm a
Hmm.
published author now, and to really not have that, someone right here beside me celebrating. I mean, I feel her presence and the celebratory message from there. But um, yeah, and she had so many ways to make people feel wanted and they mattered. That's anybody she came across, and that's a unique skill. And like I said, everybody has a purpose, right?
True.
And aligning with that, she aligned with her purpose naturally. This is why I think probably her life was shortened because she
Mm,
accomplished that with everything she came across, whether it was a child, a person, an animal. I've never seen anybody get along so well with animals either.
mm.
Um, so yeah, that's definitely a thing. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go meet a cousin of mine, and he's very fond of a lot of wildlife, and so I can't wait to go see him, and
right,
so I could talk about some of those things, and
right.
it's almost like a live-in Doctor Doolittle. He's
Mm,
amazing, so I can't wait to talk to him. Hopefully this coming weekend, but we'll see.
right.
The This next question is you wrote about grief in your book, right?
Mhm.
You wrote about grief and changes the way that you see the world. And
Yes.
how has your view of the world shifted since Christian's passing?
Well, I think there's two ways I would approach that.
Hmm.
I think the first way of wanting to give more to help people,
Yep.
but there's a high level of curiosity.
Hmm.
People not doing better for each other.
That's
I
so true.
feel I hear a lot of complaints from people just about how things are, and I'm like, what do you do? So it brings up that curiosity. What are you doing to make this place better? What are
Hmm.
you doing in this world we live in? How have you made an impact? What have you done? Name one or two things you've done to make a difference, right? And that could be something. raising a child that's non-biased, open to
Hmm.
people and experiences. It could be all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be I'm out here working thousand thousand hours a month for community. It could be something simple. It could be, man, it could be like I held the door open, I hold the door open for everybody and I smile and greet them. You know, what have you done to pay it? So I think about that, but I try not to get caught up on that because, you know, energy flows where attention goes.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's let's see. And I'm gonna ask you this last question, and then we're gonna focus on things you want to talk about, right?
Okay.
The book is described as a raw, unfiltered account of grief.
Mhm.
What do you hope readers take away from your story?
I think I want them to see the realness of, hey, damn, he went through that. That's what he was feeling, and hopefully that spurs other people to really share what they go through, because
Hmm.
it's a raw feeling that you go through. It's a most devastating feeling. I understand living through this that the widowhood effect is for real, man.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of widows and widowers who go through this and they don't make it past a year because they're just so devastated inside, and you feel that, man. And
So true.
you and your body effect is affected by that. You cannot stay in a state of grief or sadness all the time, and sometimes it's hard to get away from that,
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
man. And so, I wanted people to see the side that most people don't see in me.
Hmm.
They only see the side that's like, Marvin seems like a cool, calm, collective person. Yeah, but I had to make a decision.
Hmm.
My decision was I want to live more. I'm going to make it. And you ask anybody that's gone through something similar, the question comes up, and they've got to answer that question.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unpacking grief. You have kind of pinpoint that like I mean a bullseye. That just a perfect title. Shattered to onward.
Right.
Um, you just they both go together. That's why it's a title. And it talks about it. It's almost two parts of what
Mm,
you're talking about, right? You can look at it. It is
yeah.
two parts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I put many parts in this book because you got this thing where society teaches you hurry up and get over it. You'll get over it one day. Oh yeah, at some point you won't, and it's not good to do it. And when I saw the type of grief Kristen went through when her mother passed, and I truly didn't understand what she was going through.
mhm.
I saw when my aunt passed away when I was 17, right in front of my uncle. I didn't understand. I could feel people's pain, but I didn't understand. I understand both sides now,
Yeah.
and I wanted to unpack it from the way society puts it is like it's different than really how it should be because however you deal with it is however you deal with it.
Hmm. Yes.
What's up,
My,
Michael? How's it going, my brother?
yeah. His comment was up there for a few. I'm sorry I missed it. But Michael, we appreciate you.
As
Can't
always,
wait to, yeah, can't wait to dibble and dabble about your book, just like we're doing with Marvin. The only thing is that it's going to be me, Marvin, and I hammering you, right? We're going to hammer you about your book, and give you those hard questions.
right?
So the so I just the end, like when you gave me Pete, you gave me the book, start reading it, and I'm like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, all right, let's go, let's read this, and I want to actually explain to you how important it is for me to hold a paperback book of yours. I can't wait, and it's I can't explain it anything easier than my brother wrote a book, right?
Thank
And this is going to be able to see, because there were gaps, after, there was gaps of when Christian was getting treated, gaps when the news was tragic news was given to me and that she had passed. Um,
You'll see that in the book.
yeah, and so there's just a huge amount of gaps,
That's
and
chapter 4.
yeah, and the book is gonna allow me to, to get a perception of what you were going through, and
You're gonna relive that moment, and that part I relived it over and over as I wrote it, as I was editing it.
hmm
Um, that part is rough
yeah,
because that's the part where to this day I'm out somewhere and I want to hurry up and get back home.
mm, mm, yeah,
And
crazy,
so you relive that because so you still stay hopeful, right? I
hmm
stayed hopeful to her last time going to the hospital.
hmm
I'm thinking when the doctors ask me questions, I'm like, hey, we got to treat her because she wants to do some more singing soon.
yeah,
So I'm thinking about those things, right? I'm hopeful to the end,
yeah,
and you relive that, and that's something that's very haunting
mm,
because we're coming up on 2 years of this, right? So
yeah,
I was going through a lot this time in August. Um, hey, Michael, how are you?
yeah. Michael gone from the con man, show. He's definitely doing his thing every day. Appreciate you supporting us, um, and like we try to support you with your shows.
Right.
You keep up the good work, and I think that it's so important for people to podcast things and bring stories out there, just like you're bringing out your story, Michael.
Oh, thank you. It's
Michael Michael brings out some stories and of different people, highlighting them. And I think we got to keep on giving people flowers while they're standing. And
there's no doubt. That's what I was
yeah,
telling the story about paying it forward to people. And sometimes you got to spread love, man. Um, you know, make no mistake. I wrote the book, and it's kind of like a climax in the book, right?
hmm
At some point, you're spreading hope and love to people and all that. But make no mistake on this. I hate being in this position.
mm,
You know, I trade all this in to have Kristen right here.
yeah,
I don't like going through this. I really don't. And I
hmm
do this outside of wanting people to feel better and be better, be the best version of themselves and maneuvering through this, man. But make no mistake, man, this sucks.
yeah,
And and I want to make sure along the way I'm not trying to downplay, but this has been no fun at
yeah,
all. And I do it because there's somebody that can make a difference. Like they were on the fence.
hmm
Hopefully, this will bring them back from the fence
yeah,
because I know what it's like going through it, man. Even to this day, especially you come across people who don't really understand certain things.
yeah,
This is not my experience, but I've met a lot of people along the way, and in some ways, you asked the question before. You're a little fragile with certain things, and
hmm
you really you have this whole bunch of love you have and you want to give to others, and sometimes if it's not reciprocated, that's the part that really eats you because you're at a vulnerable state and somebody's stepping on your head. That's not a good feeling, man. um
like,
I see a lot of people who are widows and widowers, and they're like, I can't ever fathom the thought of being with somebody else because I don't either want to deal with this anymore,
Hmm.
or somebody may pass away again, or I can't really trust. And that's in the book too. As you rebuild relationships with friends, family, or another significant other, that part is, and we'll talk about this. I'm sure that question will come up in the future. You're just different, and you, especially if you know the difference, right? You know what good is, and you know what bad is, right? And so
Yes.
you try to maneuver through that from other people.
And so, believe it or not, some people get immune to just seeing some parts of that, right? Good, seeing just the good things. And then there's
Right,
also some just they get used to just seeing the bad things, right? And it kind of it overtakes, or it just overwhelms them, or takes over. They're thinking of with across the board about everything, and
right, exactly.
uh, but how do you correct that, Coach? How do you correct that? You?
I think you can correct anything that comes your way as long as you have some level of discipline and you put in the work.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
anything, man. Whether you, this is why I had to put the work in to do this and think about how I can support others along the way. But I didn't make sure I'm healing along the way, because
Mm,
that's important.
so true. The
Again, you can't help when your bucket is empty. You
mhm,
can't help others, man.
no, no. It now we talked early in the week, or no, last week, and we are just anticipating, what we're gonna do on a special day that we're here announcing, the book and just podcasting, right?
Mhm.
Wednesdays are our day,
Right.
but I really can't. I really can't say that, I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed that we're on again, and then we're gonna come on Wednesday or talk about it and then talk some more on Friday.
Yeah.
Just being with you is a living lesson, and I try to
Thank you,
tell
bro.
folks all the time. I mean, I try to get people to talk to you about some of the things they're going through, and all you could do is lead people in a direction where
Mhm.
they're asking for assistance or asking for help, and I'm saying, look, I know someone perfectly that can help you out, or at least give you some better advice, right?
Yeah.
And and that's you to me, and
Thanks, brother.
but if they can't, you can lead a horse to water, but can't force them to drink.
Hmm.
And
Sure.
it's I just hope that everybody that I send some kind of message to read this book, to look at it, to take some time and invest in your soul, especially when you need it. And
Right.
this book will definitely do that for some people.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. My hope is everybody we know share it, because it can make a difference on somebody's life.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
On Facebook, if you look at the comments, this one lady was like, "I get a book for somebody whose spouse just passed last week, a week, couple weeks
Hmm.
ago." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, this is what we want to do. We want to help people." It's like, and and the prices are very low compared to what you're getting. I mean, you're getting a book, you're getting a memoir, you're getting tools to help,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then you're getting a planner,
yeah.
built-in planner.
Exactly.
So I mean, you could take action, because I know what I went through,
And
and
see,
you can go back and read it. You can go back and say, "Hey, this is the tool I want to do.
well,
That's
we
going
can
to help."
we could do something better, man. Let's try to share it, right? Let's try to share that amazing story or post.
There it
Um,
is.
all right. So let me go back up a little bit, and this is just it says my book will launch on Friday, 8:15. That's Marvin's book. I will share all the channels where you can get the book throughout the week. Um, and then it just goes on, and you explained about the chapter, but some
Hmm.
of these comments I really want to focus on, like you said. You know, we have Nicole.
Hmm.
I can't wait, Marvin. Um, and then you respond. I think if I can get some other comments up here. Here we go. You know, uh, look at these wonderful people just giving a comment is $1 million to me, right? When someone leaves a comment, that's $1 million for me.
Yep.
So important. You say that, Kathy Montero Andrews, a great Cape Verdean woman. She's definitely going to get a copy. I missed her this weekend. Megan tags Adam Simmons. So that's what you're talking about, passing it on to some people. Yeah. And she's already passing it on to someone, you know.
Yep. Sharing it, man.
Yeah. Patty saying, I love this. Suzette Lato de Rosa saying, you're amazing. I love you so much, my friend. I cannot wait to read it. Lisa Jimenez, can't wait. Donna Andre Sanchez, looking forward to this, reading this. Your coverage is truly inspiring. We all love Christian. That's, yep, exactly. Brenda Fonts, Christian's cousin. Perfect. Yeah. Anita, can't wait. Amazing, amazing, Marvin. Good, good,
Have you
good.
met Brenda?
Yeah, I talked to her a couple of times.
Yeah.
And connected. But just on the phone, that was it. Never up in front
Yeah,
in
it's also
person.
amazing. She was
Yeah,
highly supportive of Kristen.
yeah,
I mean, just highly, highly supportive. Growing up and throughout Kristen's adulthood.
surprised. I mean, we're so close, and her and I haven't connected, but I gotta make an effort to just kind of drive over there. And
Yeah, on and off social media, I've been getting a lot of love. And I'm very grateful for that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Again, it's an opportunity to help people. Um, the small part of it is the memoir. The memoir is going to make you understand why I did what I did, and also gives you a clearer picture. And you already everybody pretty much knew, but who Kristen was and what she meant to me as a
mhm,
person and a wife, and I wanted to honor her because I will always be in the situation where remember the type of impact this person made on this world. I don't really care what others think in terms of that, but I'll be. She was my biggest cheerleader, and I'll be damn. I'm gonna always be her biggest cheerleader.
mhm.
That's just how it is, man. And
So true.
yeah, no doubt with that.
What
Um,
do you think? What do you think she's saying right now? Right? What do you think? You
well,
would know best.
I can always feel it, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I just think it's always looked and felt with her eyes towards me was a feeling of man, just appreciation, support, gratefulness, and love.
yeah. It's
I mean, there's no doubt there, man.
yeah. The trying to share our YouTube channel. I don't want people to kind of forget us, right? You know,
Right.
I'm trying to make sure that we like and subscribe. Just sometimes you have to lose yourself. Podcast,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it's right on YouTube. Everyone, take the time. I'm gonna try to copy it right now and share the channel on our social media because it's very, very important. Um, we know Michael Smale is always viewing us on YouTube.
Right. And we talked about before is like you have to honor the people that meant something in your life.
Hmm.
To me,
Yeah,
it's that simple. And I feel a
exactly.
man's supposed to honor his wife.
Hmm.
A man's supposed to honor that, and that's how it's supposed to be, man.
Yeah, yeah.
If
It's
roles in reverse, I know damn well Kristen would have clearly been doing this.
oh yeah, we would have been doing some amazing things, and
Right.
even if it wasn't you that was
Right.
right gone. Someone else, could
Hmm.
be me, anybody else, but
Well,
that's
I
the
saw
type
how
of
much she honored her parents.
yeah, hmm,
That was, man, that was wonderful.
yeah, yeah. She's the I'm trying to bring up the when I think about a lot of things. Actually, let me ask you something, right? Um, the last project, last production you guys were dealing with was the song that we did, and someone was gonna take it over and bring it to another level.
Hmm.
Did that ever come through? Every week I forget to ask you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it went anywhere. No,
All right,
I
okay.
have a bunch of her songs. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was thinking sometime in 2026.
Hmm.
Um, maybe something that maybe one of her family members can help out with. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
um, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot to try to do. Continue to honor her as well.
Hmm.
Um, like they're going to have something in Taunton next year. They're going to have it this year. So yeah, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. And then I think about somebody like her should always get those kudos, man. I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe I'm overly biased, but it is what it is.
yeah. We get I still didn't finish something I was doing, pretty much. I was when we had a service for her, and you put everything out there, the pamphlets and the just to give out to the crowd, the people paying their respects. So I was greedy and I took two of them because I had something I wanted to do. Um,
That's okay. Yeah.
and and so, but the thing is, and I mention this only because my grandchildren had seen it. Who's that? Who's that, Papa? And I had to explain. So and I started thinking about it.
Right.
And Christian's been gone a little bit, and you know what? That question should have been raised by them a while ago. So if I had done what I was supposed to do, that would have been more visible for them to see it. So I got to start working on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, um, I can't believe we're coming up on 2 years next month.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I
the
mean,
old saying, "Time flies," and
when you're having a good or bad time.
yeah, yeah, that's so true. The um, just think about, you know, a lot of times when we come on, I think about some of our previous podcasts, and you and I had talked this past week about a friend, and that was Robert. And Rob, and uh, but even talk to him was actually prior to Christian knowing.
Wow.
But doesn't it seem like it was a whole lot sooner?
Yeah, it
I
does.
mean, we talked a couple of times, but even prior to,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like all these memories I have, like that happened since I met Kristen.
hmm
It's interesting because it just seems like it's yesterday.
yeah,
How much time, enjoying your time, you don't get it back.
hmm
So, yeah, it seems today.
yeah,
In the same city, many places we went to. So, yeah, or even some people we were around.
mm,
You miss those things.
yeah. I'm gonna see Charu in a couple of weeks. In Boston Jazz Festival, and
Hmm.
that was due to your wife introducing Michelle and I to her in the hallway in Rhode Island, and so here I am. That was a friendship.
Yeah,
I would have never met her at any point in my life. I don't think,
And
And here
uh,
it is. It's still intact, friendship.
that's what she did, brought people together, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't wait, gonna bring my camera and try to snap some beautiful pictures and go from there.
Right.
So the let me see about well, we got all the time you want, We're gonna what else you want to talk about, my friend?
Yeah. So I think Wednesday when we go on, we'll keep digging to the questions. You have a chance to read any more chapters and all. Any
Hmm.
questions we'll go to, but that one question, love for you to share and ask that question on Friday. We'll work out what we're gonna do on Friday.
Okay.
I may
Yeah.
just I may make a post and go live and bring you on. So we can
Mm.
just chat it up then.
Okay.
Or you could be in the comments and putting your questions in. I could just check because I want to go over all the chapters probably on Friday.
Yeah. I can do that, because
Yeah. I don't know. When
just
someone's going on Facebook Live, can they bring someone in or do they have to be in chats?
no, yeah, you can bring someone in. It's
I'll figure
um I get invited
it.
if you want
Invite.
to come. Yeah, it's like you create the event and
Right.
then just put it out there. If you leave it public, then everyone can get on.
Yeah, that's what I'll probably do.
Yeah, and you can do that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do something like that.
The I'm trying to think here. The the marketing package, right? Um, did you decide on that, or how are you going to do it? Just word of mouth?
Yeah, a lot of word of mouth, and even the publisher was like, loves what I'm doing with that, posting and going over it and talking to people, and so it's kind of an organic thing and more over time.
Hmm.
I think I'll get my biggest traction that way, but I'm also reaching out to many organizations because people need this, especially people, hospice families and all that,
Yeah,
crematories, funeral homes, and all that.
yeah. We have just found out that a friend of mine, and Kristen's, is changed his life a little bit, and he's in assisted living, but
Mhm.
still functional, still jumps around. Wow, that was pretty loud. Sorry. Um, so is there's a life changing, and he personally went through some grief, and so I want to make sure that he's one of the first people that I pay it forward to. Um, and
Great,
uh, and I can't wait. I'm trying to get him on here,
right.
and bundle of information, and but
Well, and that's my thing. People can take the book, and it's a great gift. People can really help people who've gone through things. And I don't know if you look on a Facebook post, you'll see we were just talking about Maria said that, and it's like one
mm,
of our coworkers lost her husband a couple weeks ago.
wow,
She's going to get a book for her.
hmm,
I want to have happen. People can get things that can make a difference.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
wanna. It's a gift, other than it's a gift outside that so-called holiday season, right? This is a
right,
gift for every day, every moment.
right.
Um, and
And it's something that if someone goes through something, but also it's a great story you get to hear. It's a story of I look at it as rising up through the ashes, man. This is why I put the Phoenix on there.
yeah,
Krista may have called herself the Phoenix, but and this is why the first chapter is called the American Phoenix. This is
mm,
an opportunity for me to rise to the ashes. That's why um, chapter 3 goes into that,
yeah.
and working, maneuvering through that, man.
Mm. It's when you said that you were reviewing things, and you kind of got to relive things as you're
Absolutely.
reviewing and editing.
Right. Formatting.
Um, what happens
What's
is it's gonna multiply now, because now your book is going to be reviewed and looked at by the readers.
that? Yeah.
So it's going to always revert and go back to you to
And
answer that.
it's a little different than I'm reading and reviewing and editing than someone saying, "Hey, I read this, and this is what I took from it."
Okay. All right.
That's very inspiring because it gets people to be like, "Okay, oh yeah, okay, cool." To me, that part I'm jazzed about. I'm hyped
Hmm.
about because you want the feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Uh,
feedback is everything.
yeah. The um I don't know if you can answer this question, but is what's the best day for you and what's the worst days for
The best days of what I'm going through, the whole situation.
you? Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, there was a rough moment this weekend. I get those frequently, right?
Hmm.
Because you never get over grief, right?
Yeah.
And I miss her all the time. And, a lot of people say they miss her, and I'm like, well, damn, I do too.
Yeah.
Um,
And because of a lack of a better word, I said best, but what can I use for that? I don't know how to.
no, no, that's fine. No, I totally
Yeah.
get where you're coming from. I, yeah, it's like I feel that, but also when there's a situation where I feel as though I may not be as appreciated or loved, I
Hmm.
can always go back and say, "Hey, listen, I'm one of these people who have experienced that. And a lot of people have not. I've been around many people who have not experienced that type of love I've received.
Yeah.
So it gets me. So it gets me to that grateful place, which is a great place to be.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't get that, so I get that all the time, where I can feel very grateful. I was telling one of my close friends today, it's like, man, that type of love where you're always appreciated or acknowledged, and you're made to feel so great just by the experience. It's beyond bounds of physical
Mm.
and even spiritual and mental. The closest we get to this thing we call the real us, the real you, is beyond all the form, the boundless form, right?
Yeah.
It goes beyond the observer and the thought. That it's like some would call, in lack of better words, the level of divine love. I felt that, man. So even when I had these moments, like when I was going through a moment this weekend, it was like, man, I hate this. I hate this. I hate going through this. And I'm like, you know what? So your self talk changes. You
Yeah.
pivot because you have the gratitude. So
Mm.
that's a great question, though. It's a great question. So hope I
Yeah.
answer your question.
Yes. Yes, you did. The So Wednesday's another day for us. As we move into episode 14,
Mhm.
and the
Are we
14
moving? Is this 14?
this is 13, and then
14.
Wednesday will be 14.
And Friday
Uh,
will be 15.
yeah, yeah,
Same day that comes out, the 15th.
yeah. So
No, no
we
coincidence.
can, I mean, we can do a couple of things if you want. If you want me to create something for Friday, I can. That's up to you.
I don't know because I know once we go straight on there and I make an event, I think we'll have more interaction. That's what I would love to have on Friday.
Yeah. In fact, I like that because that's why I like if you sign on to your Facebook page,
Hmm.
it's part of the destination on this podcast.
Right.
And so it makes it because sharing and attaching and doing all that makes things it keeps us limited. But if we end up there's someone
Hmm.
on your profile that didn't see or unable to see this, but
Correct.
Michael Consatio has something here. I want to see. says, um, I think the thing we're dealing with, death of a loved one, is so difficult, but we can also look at the best times you have shared with them. So true. And it's very true about them being with you. I still feel my dad is with me after 45 years. After I
Mhm.
got older, I think back about the things he instilled in me. Most importantly, was respecting others. I like that.
I love that. Thank you, Michael, for sharing. And I think about that's what I was saying. I lean a lot on the gratitude, just being grateful for having or experiencing that.
Hmm.
And that's everything, man. Because you're like, man, this woman was so great. What made her great was all these attributes.
Hmm.
So you can look at somebody not being around on one level, but that whole reframing part is the man. It's like those are the best of times, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you go through this crazy thing of comparing in your mind. It's like, well, I've seen a lot of people who have really bad relationships, and so I'm like, okay, I have nothing to complain about, nothing.
Mhm.
Even though
Yeah.
this part sucks, but um, I 1,000% agree,
Yeah.
Michael. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Excellent comment. Uh,
Excellent,
and
excellent
input.
way to wrap it up. But Charlie, Wednesday we're
Hmm.
gonna have a good one. We're gonna have another good one, man.
Okay.
So
Yeah. No.
questions and going through it, and then some of those questions we talk about, we can take that for Friday.
All right. Fair enough. Um, Please, everyone, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sometimes you have to lose yourself podcast. Just put it in there and like and subscribe to it, share it. And in the comments now, even if you're not here with us live, checking out the podcast later on, please add those comments because I do pay attention to it. I do watch them and read them, and so if you need us to answer it on the next show, we can definitely answer some of those questions. So
Yeah.
keep doing that. Keep doing things, and yeah. Um, all right, Coach. I will see you Wednesday. I'll talk
Thank
to
you,
you
brother. Of
probably talk to you before that also,
course, of course.
and we'll go from
Thanks,
there.
my brother. Love you, brother, and love you all out there.
All right. Back at you and back at everybody out there on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I appreciate you. All right. And here's Marvin and I's favorite song for the podcast. I
That's
will
right.
see you guys Wednesday. Take care.